This conference will now be recorded.
So good morning and good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome to Cloud DevOps Batch 50. So before I start the session, I want to give a quick recap on what's being covered in the previous session. Previous session, we saw the importance of the Linux and we want to learn Linux. And for that, we need a Linux machine. And for the same, we have created an account in Amazon Web Services and we signed in. And then we consumed a service called as EC2. EC2 stands for Elastic Cloud Compute. But consuming the service from AWS EC2, we have spun up a server. And with that server, we have created an instance. Okay, with that EC2 service, we have created an instance, Linux instance, and we spawn the instance, and we are able to connect. Okay, and we are able to connect. All right, this is one thing we have learned. Also in Amazon, we have not in Amazon, in Linux, there is a concept called as passwordless authentication, where we can generate a key pair. So when you say key pair, it is just like your lock and a key. Your lock is just like a public key, and key is like your private key, which is a sensitive information. Okay, so if you want to unlock this lock, you need to have that associated private key. Okay, so for the same, we have generated a key pair, and that with that generated key pair, what we did, we connected to the Linux machine. Okay, so we have uploaded that public key into the AWS cloud, and whenever we are launching or starting, whenever you're launching or creating any server, we are telling, hey, use this public key. That means use this lock. Whenever you want to unlock that or authenticate it, you'll be using this associated public key, a private key, to connect to that machine. This is what we have seen. Let's try to redo it one more. Okay, couple of people reported that they are not able to see the CentOS 7 image. Even I noticed it yesterday. So let's give it a try. Okay, I'm yet to raise a support ticket with the AWS. Okay, let's. So today we'll see how to raise a support ticket as well, because we are not able to find an image. I want to know the root cause why I'm not able to find the image. Okay, so B50 Linux. I'm just creating one more instance. The instance which I have created yesterday, I terminated it. I'll show you how to terminate it as well. So I want to create an instance. Let me sign off and show you from the beginning. Okay, so this is the home page. Click on the home page. Okay, so trainer.manovarma.6 a.m. This is a 6 a.m. batch Gmail. I'm signing in. Okay, so this is the service I want to use to create an instance. EC2 stands for Elastic Cloud Compute. So let's create the server. So okay, before I proceed further, anyone have any questions? Anyone?
Yeah,
Shavan, Siddharth,
Manu.
anyone? Yeah,
Manu,
Ambika.
I think yes, little it is speed. I'm feeling,
Which one it is speed?
and
I
while
didn't
while
understand.
you're explaining, yeah, I'm feeling that it has little speed.
Oh, okay, sure. That's why I'm asking any questions, any questions. In case if you don't understand, if you feel that we are going fast, just do let me know, guys. We can correct then and there itself. Okay, Ambika? Just do let me know.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I would like to launch an instance. Just click on the instances and launch an instances. Okay. So just give a name, CentOS 7 lab. Just a name. That doesn't matter. Now go with the images. CentOS. Here you are not able to find that CentOS image. So search for that image. Browse the MIs. So go to community MIs. Okay, so yesterday we are getting the CentOS 7 image. Today we are not getting the CentOS image, and these are all not the official images. These are all the images published by individual persons. Okay, I am not sure why that image is not there. We have CentOS 8, CentOS 6, and CentOS 7 is not there. So, but we want it. But we want it. So we don't have it. Okay, this is one of the reasons. This is also we have. This is also a third-party customized image. I don't want to use it. I don't want to use it. Just scroll down. You can look for the same in community AMIs. So look for the same here. CentOS 7. If you see this here, this is a verified provider, but these guys are using CentOS 5.5. But what I'm looking for is CentOS 7. Even this is not a verified provider. I do not want to use it. Mhm. So this is also not, I think this we can use it, but this is not an official image. Okay. So not an official image. We can give it a try to be precise. Okay. Let's give it a try. Okay. Let's give it a try connecting to it. Okay. Let's give it a try connecting to it. So let's give it a try connecting to it.
So one more quick question. Uh,
Mhm.
so why
Yes,
why
Sanjeev.
we need to use why we need to use this CentOS 7? What is the purpose of this? And we need to download it and what the image for the images?
Sanjeev, right? Hello.
Manikanta.
Yes, Manikanta. What is the question?
So why we need to use this CentOS 7? What is the purpose of that one?
This is
I
just a
think
Linux
what is
machine, right?
AMI is asking.
No, okay. Let's take this way. AMI stands for Amazon Machine Index. Okay. So if you are creating, if you bought a Linux machine, okay, you bought some just a hardware, okay, base hardware. What you do? You will connect a pen drive with an operating system and you'll boot the computer and your system will boot with that operating system. That means eventually your operating system will be installed on the top of their computer. Am I correct? Yes, no? Manikanta?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Similarly, okay, similarly, in yesterday's session, in previous session, we saw that Linux is very important and all the cloud and DevOps tools are created on the top of Linux. So we need to consume one flavor of Linux. Okay. And we need to consume one flavor of Linux, and Linux is offered in multiple flavors. When I say multiple flavors, multiple distributions: Red Hat Linux, Amazon Linux, CentOS Linux, Alpine Linux, okay, Ubuntu Linux, Debian Linux. Lot of flavors, lot of distributors are there. I mean, lot of brands are there. Okay. And among all, we concluded Red Hat is 90+% of corporates uses Red Hat. Okay. Red Hat, again, it's a name of the company which distributes Linux. Okay. But Linux is costly. Red Hat is payable. It's not free of cost. Okay. Certain portions is not free of cost. So we want to use a clone. Okay. CentOS is a clone copy of Red Hat. Okay. All right.
Okay, got it.
CentOS is a
Got it.
cloned copy of Red Hat. It's just a flavor of Linux. That's all. We saw why we are using CentOS 7 pre-development version, post-development version. You see this? You get it? Why are we using now?
Okay.
Make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Answers your question?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. Okay, that's the reason why we are using CentOS 7. CentOS 7 is a post-development version of Red Hat 7. So we can also use Red Hat 7, but certain things are not compatible. I mean, certain things are not feasible. And also I have made couple of automation scripts and all, which works well on CentOS. Okay, that's one of the reason. CentOS is very widely used. Just to ensure if you go to interview, you can directly say I use Red Hat and CentOS flavors. So your questions will be based on that flavor. Okay. All right, and why
Got
we
it.
are creating a server is because we want to learn Linux. We have the following options like creating a VM on your laptop, Katacoda, go a Linux-based machine, or a Mac. Okay, but all these things are again sandbox or just like a test machines. But I want to go with 100% production grade. That's the reason we have created a Linux-based machine. Okay, now the issue that we are having is we are not able to find the image that we are looking for. Okay, I'm not sure whether this image will work or not. I never tried. Okay, but I'll just give it a try. The base image of CentOS is not there. Okay, so let me launch a machine with the key that I have, v50 key. Okay, that's all, that's all, that's all. Just launch an instance. Okay, in order to use AWS Marketplace, you need to accept the terms and conditions. What is this? As I said, I have not used it in the previously. Oh, it's chargeable, not free. Okay, let's not use it. Okay, so I'll raise a ticket with Amazon why CentOS base image is not there. So meanwhile, what we can do is I have my own image. Okay, I have my own image. You can authenticate to Linux machine in how many ways, guys? We can authenticate to Linux machine on how many ways?
2 ways.
One
Two
is
ways.
public and private key. One is public and private key, and
Plus.
another is okay username and password. Okay, username and password is highly used from last 3 years because of the because of some XYZ policies. Okay, so I have an image of CentOS 7. Unfortunately, for unfortunate reason, we are not able to find the CentOS 7 base image. So what you can do is I have some base image. Okay, and the name of the base image is come here, launch an instance. Sorry. So my lab image. Just scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Okay, browse in images. Okay, go to the community MIs. Go to the community MIs and search for this. This. Okay, this is the name of the image. This is my image which I have published. The lab purpose. Just search this image. This is my CentOS 7 image. Okay, so click this. Okay, and ensure you are in the North Virginia region. This image is available only in the North Virginia region. This is my image. Okay, I know I forecasted these issues would come up, and that's the reason I made my own image and ready. Okay, so select this. This is a CentOS 7 image. Okay, now I just want, okay, I don't want to proceed with key pair because this image works with without username, without keys. It works with username and password. Proceed with without a key pair. That's all. That's all. Scroll down and launch an instance. That's all. I'm gonna publish the name of the image. Okay. When you're getting the recording, you'll also get the name of this. All right. Okay, my machine is ready. And going forward for all sort of lab, okay, you're supposed to do on this machine only, because when you're doing on this machine, when you're having any issues, I can connect to this machine very quick, very fast. Okay, all you need to do is just say the IP address. I can directly connect to this machine and I can fix that. Okay, copy the IP address of the machine. It's still in the pending state. Let's wait for a couple of minutes. Going forward, don't
So,
use keys or any. Yeah, go ahead.
so
Go
the
ahead.
image which you are giving us,
Mhm,
so it is free of cost, right? It is not going to be
yeah, of course.
chargeable.
Free of cost. I'm not going to charge anything.
No, no,
If I
I
want.
don't mean that. I'm not saying. But
Mhm,
now, while using a community AMI, no, you have
mhm,
seen that it is chargeable, right?
yes.
So in that sense, I'm asking.
Yeah. So when you say marketplace, when you're launching any instance, you have an option, right, to
Mm-hmm.
marketplace and all. You can publish your own AMIs. Today we'll see how to make our own AMIs. When you're publishing your own AMIs, okay, when you are some trusted account, okay, you have an option whether you can sell your images or not. Okay, these guys, CentOS 7, certain people made the images and they're selling it. Even if you want to sell, you can sell it. Okay, in that context, I'm saying I made it absolutely
Mm-hmm.
free for public. Okay,
Okay.
makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
right? All right. Okay, my machine is ready, it seems. Let's click that. Guys, going forward, I want every one of you to be in the North Virginia region only and use my image. Okay, and the credentials of the image are okay, and the credentials of the image are, and the credentials of the image are, these are the credentials. Username and password are CentOS DevOps 321. Guys, clear? This is the username. This is the lab machine. CentOS is the username and password is, okay, it's case sensitive DevOps 321. Please use this image going forward so that I can connect to this machine quick. All right, so let's see whether I can connect to this machine or not. Open your Git Bash or Excel, anything of your choice. SSH, CentOS, that's all. No keys, nothing. Directly username and password. Okay, just say yes and you are connected to the machine. Guys, you are connected to the machine. Okay, whenever you're sending any screenshots to me, what you need to do is you need to send this way. Hey Manu, I'm having an issue with this, so please help me. Okay, you need to send this way, everything like this. If you send, I'll have some details, instance details, private IP details, and public IP details, so that I can connect to the machine and I can fix that. Okay, whenever you're sending any screenshot with reference to any of the issues, please send this way. Okay, guys. All right. Any questions on this, anyone?
Yeah, this login step, can you repeat again?
Sorry,
Manu,
Amarnath.
I have one more, Manu.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I
Go
mean, you
ahead.
were saying you are saying that you are having some own community, am I right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Lastly, you said about Linux have different flavors and distributions. Like Oracle is
correct,
taking some other flavor from Red Hat, and they are
correct,
renamed as Oracle Linux like that.
correct,
But
correct.
here also you have taken like that or something you have created your own.
No, no, I just took the CentOS. We will talk about it, just not to confuse others. Okay, let's not confuse others. We'll
Okay.
talk about that later. Okay, I understood what you're asking. Let's not go there. Let's go there later. Okay.
Okay. Okay, Manu.
Others, anyone have any questions? Okay, so this is how I'm going to create a mission. I'm going to show you one more time. Okay, I'm going to use an image of my image. Going forward, you're also supposed to use this image only. Okay, lab image 2, lab machine 2, and come here, come here, search for Cloud DevOps lab image CentOS 7. DMIs, you can find that. Okay, just click this. This is a CentOS 7 image. Okay, so click this. That's all. That's all. Launch an instance. Okay, it will ask you proceed without a key pair. I'm absolutely saying I don't want to use any key pair. Okay, Amazon insists you to use key pair, but I'm saying Amazon, I don't want to use key pair. Okay, instead I use username and password. Okay, that's all. Guys, I would like to take a pause. Any any confusions, anyone? This is important because
How
for the next 4, go ahead.
how did you get that username and password?
These are something I published it. The lab purpose, I
Okay,
have
while
published it.
connecting, while making an AMI, you have given it purposefully, right?
Correct. This is my lab image. Okay.
So for other AMI we cannot use over. Means I
No, no.
mean to say for other AMIs which are there already. So
Mhm,
if I have to go with password and username and password thing, so
mhm.
I can do it over.
Yeah, you can change it. You can change it. We'll see in the Linux sessions how to change the password and all. Okay.
Mm, Manu,
Manu
for
is
the
Guys, answers your question. Did it answer your question?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. During the Linux session, I mean, first we created the server. We signed in. Then we learn Linux, how to create a user, how to change the existing password, all these things. We'll see that in today's class or tomorrow's class. Okay. We have a topic called as user management. There we'll learn it. Yes. Any other questions?
yeah. The AMI name is Cloud DevOps minus Lab Image minus CentOS 7. Is that
Correct.
correct?
You're correct.
Manu, as soon as you just started the Git bash, uh,
Mhm.
to start with
This is
the
the image.
first command, I see that there is a master branch.
Mhm.
So that is your GitHub accounts, or do we need to create ours? How do we start with? Because for the practice of today's class, like,
You don't have to do that. That's about Git. Let's not go there. Let's focus on Linux at this point of time. Okay.
yeah.
I
So
understood what you're
okay.
asking. So
Yeah,
you're asking
Manu, why
what is
was
the
key
master?
pair not generated? Sorry.
Okay, so we are not
Come again.
using GitLab, GitHub.
At this point of time, as of today.
So you are doing this terminal from where now? Like you are giving this commands, right?
Okay. Excel, okay, or git bash. You can use any of this to connect to your Linux machine. Okay. Both of them are terminals. CentOS @ IP address.
Okay.
Okay. Anywhere it works. All right. You can use git bash or you can use Excel. Any of these thing works. Okay. You need to
Okay.
enter the password. That's all. You are connected.
Okay.
Okay,
That
guys.
CentOS
Uh,
at the rate master name will be getting from machine name.
IP address, right?
No,
This is
CentOS
called
at
as
the
IP
rate
address.
master.
Yes. Which one?
First time when you enter with SSH and you'll enter the machine name, right?
Yes. Not machine
Yeah.
name,
So
IP address.
okay.
This is IP address, public IP address. And this
Okay.
is the
First time
username.
I believe I thought you entered CentOS at the rate master.
No, no, no. This is what it is. Okay, this is just like your, okay, this is just like your email and password. Okay, whenever you connect to it, okay, I will say that manuverma.gmail.com, right? So your gmail.com is your server name and this manuverma is the username. Same like that. Your Gmail is also a Linux server.
Okay.
Okay,
In that CentOS is like username, we can give it anything before at the rate.
correct, correct. That's all. It can
Uh,
be. Let's say if you join an organization, you will have an account called as A Patil, Ambika Patil. Let's see if I join any organization, I'll have Manu Verma as my user account, right? Similarly, each and every operating system, when it is created, it will have a couple of default user accounts. CentOS is one of the default user account. Okay?
Okay. Got it.
uh, sir,
Yes, go ahead.
sir, you just given a single username and password, and multiple times can a multiple person can log in on it at a time?
Yeah, you can. Yes, yes, yes. That is the whole idea of a server, right? Server, the main idea of the server is multiple people can access that machine. Okay? Server,
At
which
different
serves your
locations, at different locations at multiple times of multiple people, no issues.
Yes, yes. Unless until you know the IP address, okay, you have the
Uh,
valid credentials. Yes, you can.
okay,
This
sir.
machine is in United States, North Virginia, right? But still, we are able
Yes.
to connect.
Okay. Okay. Now we can also connect to this mission with if someone also connect to that mission at a time, no issues.
No problem.
Okay, sir.
You are accessing Amazon. I am accessing Amazon. Ambika is also accessing Amazon. Any impact? No, right? The server, it's
No,
just a server.
just like same credentials, no? That was my doubt. That's it.
That's yeah. Okay. This is my CentOS is my credential. Okay. If
Yeah,
you join any organization, you'll have your own you'll have your own credentials. Santosh @ xyz.com. Okay, you'll
yeah.
have your own username and password. If you join any organization, the first thing that they'll do is they'll create a username and password to you. Okay, with those
Mm.
credentials, you'll be signing in.
Okay, sir.
All right,
Okay.
perfect. So this you need to be very clear. Going forward, use this lab image and don't use any sort of key pairs. Directly go with username and password. That is most trusted way. Okay, than the key pair. But if I directly start with username and password, a lot of people will think that Varma is skipping a lot of things and this is not used. That's the reason I first start with key pair. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, and then let's start with password. Clear? Any questions on this, anyone? How do you connect to your
Manu,
Linux machine? Let me show you one more time. Okay, how do you connect to your Linux machine? Okay, so first go to open your Excel. Excel is an SSH client. Okay, if you want to SSH to your machine, you need to have an SSH client. Okay, all you do is SSH CentOS. CentOS is the username @ IP address. That's all. Okay, now it will ask you a password. Just click the password here and type DevOps 321 D and OR caps. That's all you're connected. And guys, whenever I'm typing something, I'm just also typing using a command called as clear, just to clear the junk screen. Okay, couple of people have asked me whenever you're hitting the command, why how your screen is going to the top. I'm just typing clear or control L is the command. Okay, that's all. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, please.
How many instances? I mean, you have created multiple instances today. So are you going to
Mhm.
make use of all those instances or just one?
I'm going to make use of one, but I want to show you guys how to create multiple times. That's the reason I have shown. So,
Okay.
so I have created a couple of machines, right? So one is 80.37. Uh-huh. So I would like to terminate this machine because I don't need two machines. Okay, let me terminate the machine. So when you say terminate, you're destroying the machine. Okay, including the disk attached to it will be destroyed. Okay, here if you click this option, you have start, stop, reboot, terminate. Okay, so hibernate is just like your machine will go to sleep mode, but still it will be built. Terminate is just like deleting the machine. Okay, all right, this is how after every day, right after session, you stop the machine or terminate the machine. Okay, if you stop, you can start it later. If you terminate, you can create it later. All right, guys, if you have no questions, I'll proceed further. Any questions on
So,
this, anyone?
sir, one second, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, now you created one instance in your AWS, right?
Yes.
With
North.
the in AWS, with the logins of credential CentOS and with this password, you log in with terminal of Excel.
Correct.
So in our AWS, we should also
Do the same.
create this and I mean this instance, or can we directly connect with our shell to this your instance?
Why you will connect to my instance?
So it's so in our
See,
AWS, we,
Santosh,
sir.
what you need to do is you need to create your own account, AWS account. You need to create your own servers. Okay? Because
Okay.
after the lab, what I'll do, I'll turn off my machine. You cannot connect, right? You
Okay.
got my point? You need to
Okay, sir.
create your AWS account and you need to create your own servers and you need to practice on your servers.
Okay, then our IP address will be changed, so we have to connect with our IP address.
Obviously, yes.
Yeah, that's small difference. Small doubt. Now I got.
All right. Anyone have any questions? Swapnil, Sushma? All right. Okay, let's proceed further, guys. Okay. So I hope no questions. Okay. So guys, in Windows, what is the master user account or what is the user account which is having higher power? Who is
Root,
the higher privileged user?
root.
Letter.
Administrator.
Yes, administrator, right? And he is the person, okay, administrator is a user account with higher privileges, okay, and which comes with the system, okay. You don't create it, right? No one logs into the system, it creates its user account. This is the user account which will be there by default, and you'll do all the configuration of your machine with this user account, and he is the super user which has all the privileges. Similarly in Windows, okay, similarly in Linux, we have something called as root user, okay, root user, and he is like a super user and he's the person who can do anything on the system. And this is one of the user account which comes along with the operating system. You take any flavor of Linux, it can be Ubuntu, Amazon Linux, CentOS, Alpine, Red Hat, anything. On all the machines, root is the user account which comes by default, and he is like an administrator and he can do anything on the machine. Okay, anything on the machine. So just like in Windows, how you have administrator, in Linux also you have an administrator account, and the name of the administrator account is called as root. Okay, in Linux there are two types of users. Okay, two types of users. Types of users in Linux. One is normal user and another is privileged user. He's a special guy. Okay, when you say privileged user, he's a root user. Root user. Okay, so and these two are the two different accounts. Okay, normal users, your account, my account, Ambika's account, Chaitanya's account, Santosh's account are normal user accounts. And privileged user is just like the root user account. He can do literally anything on the system. Okay, literally he can do anything on the machine. Okay, so and if you see this, okay, if you see this, if your prompt is starting with a dollar, that means you're a normal user. If your prompt is starting with hash, that means you're a root user. Okay, so guys, I also gave the credentials. You can also, okay, so for a normal user, the prompt starts with dollar. If your prompt starts with dollar, that means you are a normal user. If your prompt starts with hash, you are a privileged user. This is one important point you need to observe. All right, when you want to see which user it is, you can just by looking at the prompt. If the prompt starts with dollar, he's a normal user. If the prompt starts with hash, he's a privileged user. Okay, so he's a privileged user. Okay, done. Now let's try to understand the common syntax of any Linux command. Okay, in any Linux command, the common syntax is this, guys. Common syntax of any Linux is all about commands. Okay, so Linux is all about commands, and in Linux everything is a file. Everything is a file. Okay, if you want to change something or if you want to update something, you need to think that in Linux everything is a file. I need to update. Okay, let's say you want to change some property. That means you need to edit a file and change the settings. Okay, in Linux everything is a file and everything is a command based. Okay, so how in general a command looks like? How in general a command looks like? This is how a command syntax looks like. Command name followed by options. Okay, this is how a example command looks like. And if you see example, uname is a command, hyphen a is an option. Okay, how I know that? I'll tell you. Okay, how I know that? I'll tell you. So guys, Linux is one of the best operating system where you don't have to go and search in the internet if you want to know something. If you want to know something, those options are already available in the same machine itself. You don't have to search and you don't have to find anything. That's the beauty of it. Okay, so if you want to search something, everything will be there in the same machine itself. Okay, how to do that? Let's show you that. Okay, let me show you that. So we have taken uname as an example, right? Let's take that. Let's go to the machine. Uname, just type uname. Let's see what is the output. It gives you what is the name of the machine. Okay, now I want to see what are all the options that it has. Okay, so uname, just give hyphen hyphen help for any sort of command. For any command, you can just give hyphen hyphen help. You can see the list of options it gives. Just see that. Okay, so when you use hyphen a, it prints all the information. Okay, and if you just give hyphen s, it gives you the kernel name. If you just give R, it gives you the kernel release. And if you just give hyphen V, it gives you kernel version. So it gives a lot of information. If you just type uname hyphen A, it gives you all the information. It gives you all the information of your machine, including the kernel name, kernel version, and all. If you just want to know the kernel name, just give hyphen S. You just got the kernel name. And if you want to know the kernel release, just type hyphen R. So you got the kernel. This is also very important question. How do you know your kernel version? Okay, this is how you can see. I'll ask you one question. What is kernel in Linux? Anyone? Not in Linux, in any operating system. What is kernel? Any idea, guys? What is kernel?
It's the heart for Linux,
Not just for Linux, for any operating system.
for any
Okay.
operating system.
Anyone? Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, let's take that answer. Anyone else? What is kernel? Ranjit? Anyone? What is kernel? Anyone, guys? Sirisha?
It is a layer between the operating system and the hardware
Uh,
to
kind of
communicate.
yes. Yes, I think you're 90% correct. Kernel is the first layer of any operating system which acts as an interface between your hardware and the software. It's exactly the same. Okay, and developing an operating system is a very tough job because it should always start with the first layer, which is nothing but kernel. Kernel is very toughest thing to build. And for all your information, for we refer Linux as an operating system, right? Linux is a kernel. Okay, Linux is just a kernel which is just a first layer of the operating system. All the distributors like your CentOS, Red Hat, Oracle, they are adding flavors on the top of it, utilities on the top of it, and give it a structure like operating system. Linux is just a kernel technically, but everyone refer it as an operating system. Even we go with the flow, but Linux is technically a kernel. Okay, so Each and every operating system will have its own kernel, and the own kernel will have a name, version, release, everything. Okay, if you want to know the properties of it, just type uname. Uname is a command which gives you the information of all the names. Okay, so just give hyphen a, it gives you all the information. And if you want to know what are all the available options, just type hyphen l. It gives you all the available options. Okay, if you want to know the processor type, or if you want to know the machine hardware name, and if you want to know the kernel version, this is very important question. How do you know the kernel version of your computer, of your Linux? Uname hyphen r. Okay, uname hyphen v. All right, this is one thing. Okay. All right, and I could see one more question. Hey Manu, Linux is developed from Unix, so Unix and Linux, both of them are same or not? So guys, Linus Torvalds, who is the author of the Linux, he took inspiration from Unix. He took inspiration from Unix, and they contributed and they developed a new operating system kernel called as Linux. But both of them are same, even though the commands will be the same. Even here in Unix, you'll use the command called as ls to list the files, and even in Linux, you'll use the same command ls to list the same files. But both of them are different. It is completely written. Linux is completely rewritten on the top of C language. Okay, so even though they look similar, both of them are absolutely different. Okay, if both of them are same, Unix would have absolutely fired them, sued Linux long back. Okay, they look same, but they are not. Okay, because Linux is developed by keeping the Unix as an inspiration. Okay, all right, guys, any questions? And one more very important thing, if you want to install any operating system, if you want to install Windows operating system, what is the minimum requirement, guys? Anyone in this session? What is the minimum hardware requirement? How many CPUs and how much memory are required to install an operating system, Windows operating system? Anyone in the session?
It
It can
it
take up from
depends
10 to
upon
20 minutes.
which type of operating system you are installing. Means if it is Windows 2000 or Windows
Uh-huh.
like that.
Let's consider Windows 10. Let's consider Windows 10.
It can
Let's
take
consider Windows
starting
7.
from 10 minutes to 20 minutes.
Uh, Not time. I'm asking how much resources, like how much CPU and how much memory is needed.
Yeah,
Minimum.
minimum of 4 GB RAM
Okay,
required.
what Microsoft recommends is I think 1 GB RAM and 100 GB HDD or SSD.
Okay, so 1 GB RAM and 1 GB disk, and processors. How much processor?
The bare minimum they were telling
Intel
is
i3 RAM. Manu.
two
One
processors or one. I don't recall it. But
1 gigahertz processor.
Okay, so everyone says that minimum one proc CPU. Okay, and minimum 1 to 2 GB RAM and 100 GB disk. Minimum to install Windows, you should need a minimum of 256 GB disk. Okay, all right.
Because
Now, what if I
all the
say to install Linux, just you would need zero point 0.1 CPU, that means 1/10 of CPU, okay, and just 128 MB RAM, just lesser than 100 GB, lesser than 100 GB disk. Do you believe it, guys? What is your operating system running on your mobile? Android. Android is again a flavor of Linux, right? Guys, do you believe it? If I say, if you just need just zero point 0.1 CPU and 128 MB of RAM, do you believe it works? It should. Your microwave ovens, all the electronic devices, embedded devices are everything having Linux as its fundamental core. That's the reason Linux can run with a very minimal operating system. It can run with a very minimal resources. Okay, this is one of the reason why it needs very less minimum resources. Anyone? Because it doesn't have GUI. It don't have GUI. So since it doesn't have the graphical user interface, so it don't consume much. The majority of the resource consumption comes from graphical user interface. It doesn't have graphical user interface. That's the main reason. Okay. All right, guys, clear? This is one of the reason. Okay. If someone with a bad mindset is taking your interviews, okay, they'll ask you these kind of stupid things as well. A few of my students reported this in a couple of months, so that's the reason I am including this as well, majorly in the service based companies. All right. So let's talk about, okay, let's talk about the resources. Hey Manu, in Linux, everything is a file, right? So if I want to read a file, how do you do that? Okay, how do you do that? In Linux, cat is a command to read a file. In Linux, cat is a command to read a file. Okay, cat is a command to read a file. Okay, so how do I know? How do I know? If you want to buy a computer, what is the first thing that you'll check? If someone gives you a computer, you'll check what is the CPU, what is the memory, what is the disk size, right? But in Linux server, how do you check that? The server is somewhere. If you want to see the CPU and memory information, how do you see that? How do you see that? So as I said, in Linux, everything is a file. All you need to do is just read a file. And cat is a command to read a file. So which file do I need to read? Okay. So in Linux, to know the CPU and memory information, there is a folder called as PROC. Just type PROC, proc, and CPU information. CPU info is a file. Okay. CPU info is a file which is present inside the proc directory. Okay. Just read that. Okay, you got the CPU information. Okay, this is an Intel based processor of 6th family. Okay, and the family is 6, and the model name is Xeon CPU processor, and a lot of other information is also there, how much megahertz it has. Okay, and whether it has all the information, whether it is a 64-bit operating system or 48-bit or 32-bit operating system, all this information. And you can also see the cache size of this processor. Similarly, if you want to see the memory information, same thing, instead of CPU, just type mem. You'll come to know a lot of information about memory. We don't care about it. All we care is this: how much is total, how much is free, and how much is available. Since this is a T2.micro, okay, guys, can you see this? T2.micro. So T2.micro gives how many CPUs and how much memory? Anyone? T2.micro gives 1 CPU and 1 GB of memory, and that's the reason it shows you 1 GB of memory, but it's showing in KB. Okay, out of 1 GB, so 800 MB is free. 800 MB is free, and the memory available to consume is 790. That means the operating system just took 200 MB, less than 200 MB to install an operating system. That's all. Okay, this is how you can see the CPU and memory related information. Okay, so Manu, how do I see the number of disks that are attached to my machine? Okay, how do I see the list of disks that are attached to my machine? So df is a command to see the uh, disk is a command, fdisk. Okay, fdisk is a command to see the list of disk, but it is throwing me an error. Okay, not error, exception. What it is saying, if you want to do an fdisk command, the options available are -s, -l. Okay, so I need to use -l. If I want to use -l, then it shows you the list of disk tables. Okay, let's type that, fdisk -l. Okay, it says that I do not have permission. Guys, what is the error? Can someone read this? What is the error? What is the error, guys?
Permission denied.
So
Permission denied.
permission denied. That means you need to understand one fact. In Linux, everyone cannot do everything. Only the root user can do everything. Guys, this point is very important. In Linux, normal users cannot do anything. Normal users cannot do everything. Okay, so this is a kind of administrator task which needs some higher privilege. Okay, higher permissions. So in Linux, okay, if you want to execute any of the task with higher privileges, you need to use something called as sudo. Whenever you hit the sudo is just like a power play. Sudo is just like, okay, temporary root access. Whenever you hit any of the command with sudo as a prefix, you will temporarily get the root user privileges. Okay, you will get root user privileges temporarily with everything recorded. Okay, so hit enter. Typically in production, we will not share root access to anyone. Only one team, the DevOps team or the Linux team, will have access to the root user. None of the users in the system will have access to the root user. That means no one can sign in as a root user, because we are not going to share the root user credentials to anyone. Okay, now let's give a try, sudo fdisk -l. Okay, now you can see the disk attached, and the name of the disk is dev xvda. and it is having this much blocks. What it is, let's discuss that later. But this is how you can see the list of disks that are attached. I have one disk attached and the size of the disk is 10 GB. Okay, so Manu, I think I have a requirement. I want to add one more disk to the machine. I want to add one more disk to the machine, and I have a requirement where I want to add one more disk to the machine, and I right now I need 15 GB disk attached to my machine. What I should do? What I should do? If you are an on-prem environment or if you are not in the cloud environment, what you typically do is, okay, this is your Linux machine. Okay, this is your Linux machine. You need 100 GB. So what you do? You talk to your manager and ask them your approval, and with that approval, you will reach out to the storage team. Okay, there is a separate team called a storage team. Okay, and that storage team owns the storage disk. Storage team owns the storage array. It's called a storage array, which is nothing but a server which has huge number of disks. And when you reach the storage array team, storage team, they'll ask you your manager approval and they'll give you the disk. Okay, they'll allocate the disk and they'll share the disk. Okay, and you need to scan the disk and you need to attach the disk and then you need to consume it. In cloud, it's not like that. Here, three steps are involved. Talk to your manager, raise a request to the storage team, then the storage team has to provision that storage, and then they also need to allocate, and then you also need to scan, and then you also need to add. Here 5 to 10 steps are there. Typically when in 2015, 16, 17, okay, when I was working in an on-prem environment, uh, even now in certain projects we'll have on-prem. If you need any storage disk, you need to talk to the storage team and they need to provision the disk, and then they need to assign the disk, and then you need to scan the disk, and then you need to attach the disk. Huge time used to take, but in cloud it's not like that. I'll show you how simple it is. I'll show you how simple it is. Okay, so in AWS, okay, then the disks that we allocate are called as EBS, elastic block storage. Okay, scroll down, there is a concept called as elastic block storage. Okay, this is just like creating disk. Okay, this is just like creating disk. Okay, all right, let's create a disk. Okay, I want to create a volume. Disk is called as volume. Okay, I want to create a disk, I want to create a volume. Okay, I just want to create 15 GB disk. All right, and one more thing, which zone you want to create, which zone you want to create. Okay, if your disk, okay, if you're creating a disk, if your server is in west 1a and if your server is in west 1a and if you create the disk in west 1d, it will not work out because it's as simple as that, right? If you want to watch a movie which is in a hard disk, obviously if your laptop is in bedroom, your hard disk should also be in your bedroom, right? If your hard disk is in hall and if your laptop is in bedroom, you cannot watch the movies present in that hard disk, right? So whenever you're creating a disk, you also need to ask the requester in which zone you want me to create. Okay, so here you need to think and check where your machine is. My machine, which machine? Okay, my machine is in US East 1D. Okay, in the North Virginia US East 1D zone, my machine is. Okay, now I need to go to the volumes, East 1D. Go here, I want to create a 15 GB disk, create a volume. So I want to create 15 GB disk. Scroll down, choose the then. Let's not bother about any of the options, encryption, all these things. Just let's keep things easy. Okay, I got the disk. Done. I got the disk. Now you also need to see whether it is it's created or it's in the process of creating. It will take less than 1 to 2 minutes to create the disk. We need to wait till the creation of the disk. Till the time the disk is created, anyone have any questions?
Manu, one thing. By any chance, do you
Uh-huh.
mind clicking on North Virginia that is shown on the top?
Okay, sure thing. Yeah.
I do see US East 1 over here, but when you mention like creating a disk, you mention like making it as US East 1D. So what does the D means over here?
Okay. We talk about how companies achieve high availability, right? Do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
Availability zone, do you remember? We spoke about that.
Yes, I do. I mean, I don't get to know like US East 1,
Let
we
me
have
tell you.
already
Let me
US
tell you.
East
Let me tell
2.
you. Let me tell you. This is Mumbai region. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is Mumbai region. Let's say this. They name this region as AP South 1.
Okay.
1. AP South 1. This is the region name. Now all the availability zones under South 1, the names will be South 1A, South 1B, South 1C.
Okay.
1A.
So in
Naming
that
standard.
case,
1net, A, 1B, 1C. Okay. So this is a region and these are all the availability zones. This is just a physical location and these are the physical locations of your data centers where your infrastructure is there. Okay. So inside the North Virginia region, you'll have multiple zones, right? Availability zones to achieve high
yeah.
availability, even in case if you lose one zone. So they spread their infrastructure across 6 zones in North Virginia. That's the reason you see US East 1A, US East 1B, US East 1C, US East 1D in North Virginia.
Okay.
Okay.
In this case, I can select any one. It is not, I mean, mandated to select 1D.
You can choose anything of your choice.
Okay.
Since randomly my machine is created in East 1D, I'm creating the disk in East 1D. That's all.
Okay.
Doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Got it.
You can create anywhere of your choice.
Hmm.
Okay. But ensure you're in
Okay.
North Virginia. In North Virginia, things are little inexpensive, and my lab machine is also here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's good.
All right. So
Manu,
this status.
you created this service elastic
uh
storage block, right?
Elastic block storage. Yes.
Block storage. Okay, okay, fine.
Yes. Can you see this
So
here? In the left, there is an option called as Elastic Block Store, and here we have an option called as Volume. I went to the volume and created the volume. That's all.
yep,
Okay.
yep.
I
Yeah.
selected the East 1D. Why? Because my machine is in the East 1D zone. Okay. My machine is in the data center, so I'm creating the disk also in the data center only. Right?
Manu, I have one query regarding this one.
Uh-huh.
When we created the increase the volume, right, in
Mhm.
one availability zone, as per the redundancy policy, it will be available in other zone as well. So in that place also they will increase or only this?
No, no, no. Disk redundancy is not by default. Okay.
Okay.
It's not like when you create a disk in East 1A, it will be created in East 1B also. No. Amazon just gives you an option. How you configure and how you achieve high availability is your architects and your engineers' decision. So in these sessions, we are going to architect that solution as well. How do you achieve high availability? Okay.
Yeah, got it.
Amazon just gives you the options. If you configure this way, you will get high availability. If you don't configure this way, you don't get high availability. So Amazon gives you the option. It's engineers, us, who needs to decide how to configure it.
Mhm.
All right. We'll see that.
Okay.
Okay. So my disk is available. Okay. Click this. And now what I have to do is I want to attach it. Okay. I want to attach this volume. Whom I need to attach? I want to attach my disk to this machine, which is running lab machine 2. Done. Okay, and the name will be coming up as xvdp, it seems xvdp or xvdf. Okay, done. Let's click that. My disk is attached. Now hit the same command. Let's see what will happen. Guys, can you see this? One more disk is attached. Xvdf, they are saying xvdf. Okay, your disk is also attached. Your disk is also attached to the lab machine 2. Guys, clear? Guys, clear? This is a 15 GB disk. I got the 15 GB disk. Any questions, anyone? Guys, clear? Now we know how much CPU we can see, how much memory we have. We know how many disks are attached, and how to provision the disk and how to attach the disk. And the disk service in Amazon is called as elastic block storage, and we typically don't call them as disk, we call them as volumes in Amazon. All right, any questions, guys? Anyone? Are we good? Shall we proceed further?
Um,
All right,
Manu, I have a
go
question.
ahead.
Like we selected T2.micro, which comes with default 1 GB, right? Uh,
This combination T2 micro gives you 1 CPU and 1 GB memory.
1 GB. So, like to increase the disk, like we are attaching one more with 15, right? So, if we change
You're
the
right.
T2.micro to any other upper higher configurations, can also be the solution, or
Yeah,
we have to attach the disk.
Okay, so to answer this question, guys, okay, so it's a nice question. That's my next topic, by the way. So you have, see, the question is very simple. Now we got a requirement to add 10 more GB disk. We created one more disk and we attached it and we can see it now. Okay, when I hit the sudo app disk, I can see two disks and I can host my application data on my this disk and the web application data on this disk. Good. But how about T2 micro? T2 micro is giving me just CPU and one CPU and one memory, right? But let's say because of some reason I need some more processor and more memory. Let's say I need two CPU and 4 GB memory. So what I should do? Okay, guys, whenever you want to scale the machine horizontally, that means adding resources to the same machine, okay, with respect to CPU and memory, you cannot do it when the machine is on. Okay, what you need to do is, in this case, you need to turn your machine off. Okay, you cannot increase the resources of your machine directly. You need to turn the machine off. When you turn the machine off, you need to turn the machine off. Let's turn the machine off. Okay, the state is stopping, so let's stop. So you have an option called as actions, and in the instance settings there is an option called as change type. This is grayed out because the machine is still stopping. Okay, in none of the clouds, even in Amazon cloud or Google cloud, and the most innovative Google cloud or the Azure cloud, even there you cannot change the instance type from one type to another type when the machine is on. You need to turn your machine off. You need to turn off your machine. Your machine came to the turned off state or stopped state. Now you have an option in the actions. Go to the instance settings. There is an option called as change instance type. Here, just choose the thing of your choice. Okay. Now, rather than going with t2.micro, you can go with anything of your choice. It's up to you. Okay. So let's say I want to go with t2.small. Okay. This is not free. I'm just going with t2 small. This gives you 1 GB memory and 2 CPUs. Okay, let's apply that and start. Okay, so far we are getting t2.micro here. When you start the machine, you'll get as t2.small. Okay, let's click it, and the instance type is small. Earlier it used to be micro. Start the machine, let it come up. Let it come up, let it come up. It's still in the pending state. So I got the IP address, copy the IP. So guys, the reason why I use Excel is you can open multiple tabs. Okay, like this, you can open multiple sessions and all. That's one of the reason why I prefer using CentOS. I mean Excel makes demonstration more easy. The machine is not at up, let it come up. It's still in the pending state. Not sure why it's taking this much time. Anyone have any questions? Meanwhile, let it come up. Guys, the state pending means the resources are not at allocated by you to Amazon. Okay, ours is free tier account. So free tier accounts are always given lesser priority. Always higher priority are given to customers who are paying, enterprise grade customers. Okay, ours is a free tier account, so it will take time. Pending means the resources are yet to be allocated to you. Okay, all right, it goes to the running state. However, it's less than 1 minute. Okay, however, it's less than 1 minute. All right, so go to this. The password is DevOps321, D and O are capital letters. That's all we connected. Earlier, it used to be small, a micro, now it is small. Okay, but you cannot do the things dynamically. That means when the machine is on, you cannot add or remove the CPU. Okay, no, it's not possible. You need to turn the machine off. You need to add or remove the resources. You need to upsize or downsize, and then you need to start the machine. Okay, so we saw how to add the disk, and we saw how to add the CPU memory, and we saw how much CPU is allocated, how much memory is allocated, and how much disk is also allocated. We saw all this. All right, any
Can you
questions?
show again how to add, change the this from T2 micro to T2 small?
Sure.
Can you show it again?
Yeah, we'll show
Uh,
that. Any questions,
Manu
anyone?
also, Manu
Hmm.
also, is it? It is completely renaming the machine, right? Like it was Lab One, and it is creating Lab Two when we change the instant type.
No,
No, okay,
it's the same. Name is same.
okay, but oh, okay. It was 2 before. Okay.
No, even before it's, this is
2.
just a text
Okay.
description. Unless until you change it, it won't change.
Okay.
Okay.
So it is like what happened to the earlier one, which is T2 micro. I
Mhm.
mean, it just upgrade to the same thing, or it will just create another copy of an instance.
You have a laptop. Okay. You have a
Huh.
laptop which is of 250 GB disk. You felt that it's too small and you want to expand it, and you bought a 512 GB disk and you added it. So is your computer a new one or an old one now?
In both the case, right?
It's how? It's the
I mean,
same
if I
computer with a
replace
new disk.
the
That's all right.
higher, huh?
It's the same machine with a new hard disk. That's all right. Am I correct?
Yeah, but possibly both the cases, like they can allocate a new machine with the next higher GB. So that's why I asked here, like whether we are doing it top of on the same machine or it just
It's the
create
same
an
machine.
another.
Same
Okay.
machine. It's like if creating another machine, why to stop the machine and change the instance type, right? No need. It's same machine, because if that happens, you lose the data, right? Customers data, application data, if it destroys and recreates. Same machine.
Okay. Okay. But I think still
Logically,
it doesn't fulfill our requirement because we were expecting a 2 GB or the upon under 10 GB, like we are allocating another 15 or 16 GB, but the CPU
okay.
still remains same. If we was just increase the processor speed, then how do we configure that? We are just upgrading the disk, right?
After the upgrade, no, no, your disk and CPU are not proportional completely. So the requirement I tried to show you is, I want to show you how to add the disk. I shown. I also want to show you how to upsize or downsize your machine. I have shown. And the combination offered by Amazon, T2 micro, T3 micro, one CPU, 2 GB, two CPUs, 4 GB memory. That's the best combination. One set of combination will give you better performance as per the CPU standards and memory standards. Those combinations Amazon has given the names as T2 micro, T3 micro, T2 medium, like that. That's the best combination which gives you the better performance.
Okay.
Okay. If you are on Google Cloud, you can even customize like how much CPU you want, how much memory you want. Okay.
Yeah, that's
That
what my
Amazon doesn't
question
have.
was. Like we were not able to customize it. We need to use their standard, like they did.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Because Amazon is promising you certain performance. If Amazon has to promise you certain set
Right.
of performance, it has to follow certain standards. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
Because it doesn't make sense if a user gives a one CPU and 100 GB memory, he won't get a performance, right?
Hmm.
It should be in proportion. All right. Any other questions, anyone? All right. All right. Now I'll ask you one question. So we saw how to read a file, how to create a file. And one more very important point, in Linux, we use forward slashes, a slash b slash c. Okay. If a file is in a directory, b directory, c file. In Windows, we use backslash. That's just a difference. Okay. If you open any file folder, if you see this, here in Windows things are backslash, right? But in Linux things are forward slash. You see this? That's one thing. But once you be a Linux guy, you'll forget that. Okay, that's one. Someone has asked me the question, what is the difference? Why we are using forward slash in Linux and backward slash in Windows? That's how it is. Okay. All right. Now, how do you create a file? How do you create a file? So we know how to read a file and how to add a disk. Then how do you create a file? So touch is a command. Touch a.txt. Okay, the file is created. Touch b.txt. ls is a command which shows you the list of files in the current working directory, ls. So it's going to show you two files, a.txt and b.txt. We have created two files. Okay. All right. This is how we can create a files. Now I'm using the command called as ls. So what are all the available options that I have in ls-ltr? Man, not man, ls-l. Okay, you can see huge number of options. Okay, huge number of options. I'm not interested in all these things. So you can also use something called as ls-ltr, which gives you some other options. Okay, l stands for long list, Okay, it shows you in the list format. T stands for, it also shows you the timestamp, and R stands for recursively. It shows you the files in recursive format. That means which are created last will be shown at the bottom, which are created first will be shown at the top. A fine example of it, I'll create one more file, c.txt. This is the file which I have created just now. That means it is the latest file. When I hit ls-ltr, you can see the C in the order of creation. Okay, so L stands for ls-ltr. What are the commands that I'm using? I'm going to publish everything. So I have everything drafted here. I'm going to share this with you guys. Okay, open source. You don't have to take notes of any of these things. I have already hand noted that. Okay, if you come here, I'm gonna share you, don't worry on this. Okay, linux commands.md. Okay, everything I have encoded in a format that I'm going to teach. I'm going to publish this in today's session. Okay, all right. So we know how to create a file and how to see the file. Okay, and coming back to this ls, okay, ls-ltr, again it is falling under the same standard, ls-ltr. ls-ltr, ls stands for list, ls means list. Okay, hyphen l means long list, long list. Okay, hyphen t time with timestamps, and hyphen r recursively. Recursively English meaning. Okay, so recursively. All right, so typically any of the linux guys typically use ls-ltr. Okay, all right, and another important thing, linux is case sensitive. Very important point, linux is case sensitive. What it means, linux is case sensitive means the file varma.txt, varma.txt, and varma.txt, all three are three different files. In windows, are they same files or different files? Question, guys. uh, as per you, are the same files or different files?
What I believe it's in Windows, these are different because Windows, sorry, these are same. Windows is not case sensitive.
Correct.
These are
In
different
windows,
files.
correct, if it is windows, there is no concept of uppercase letters or lowercase letters, everything is the same with respect to files. Linux is case sensitive. Okay, that means a.txt lowercase letters and a.txt both are two different files. Okay, so if you assume touch is a command to create a file, a.txt, touch, b.txt, these are three different files, these are two different files. Okay, so linux is case sensitive. That means the passwords or everything, the passwords or usernames, everything. So username CentOS and CentOS both are two different user IDs. Okay, so that's the reason we follow case sensitive standards. That means you should be very careful when you are creating something. Okay, it's case sensitive. And also there is no concept of file extensions. Okay, there is no concept of file extensions. Like in windows we have .txt file, .txt file, okay, .xl file, okay, .ppt file, right? Yes, no, guys? In windows we have this concept, right? So if you change the file extension from .txt to some .xyz, you cannot open that, the file goes corrupted, right? If you change the .xl extension with some xyz, it will not work, right? So in linux you don't have the concept of file extension. Okay, so the only reason why we still give .abc, okay, .txt, .log and all is just because we are so much used to linux. Just for the human understanding we give a.txt and b.txt. For linux it is same, for linux it's absolutely same. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, since we are so much used to windows, we are creating the files with extension, but linux don't care about it, it's just a name to it, that's all. Okay, this is very important. There is no concept of file extensions. That means when you read a.txt and if you rename a.txt, both of them are same. Okay, there is no value to that .txt or .excl or anything. The only reason why we use is for human understanding. That's all. There is no concept of extensions. When you say extensions, that is just for the user, your understanding only. There is no purpose for it. Okay, now we know how to list a file and how to create a file. How do we remove a file? How do we remove a file? Anyone? RM. RM stands
RM.
for remove. Okay, RM, remove. RM stands for remove, and this is how you can delete a file. Okay, rm b.txt. This is how you delete the file. Okay, the files are deleted. And one more thing, if you delete something, that's all, it's deleted. There is no concept of recycle bin concept in Linux. Okay, in Windows, if you delete something, you have an option called as a recycle bin. In the recycle bin, you can go there and fetch that, right? But in Linux, you should be very careful if you are deleting or updating something, because there is no concept of recycle bin. If something is gone, gone, that's all. Okay, clear? Okay, now we know how to delete a file and how to create a file. How to rename a file? How to rename a file? So how do you rename a file is, so mv is a command, mv file name, file name .txt. This is how you can rename a file. Okay, mv is the command, mv stands for move, and which file you want to change and what is the name that you want to change. Okay, now I want to change the name of the file. Okay, a.txt as mv, a.txt as cloud devops .txt. Okay, now file a.txt is renamed to cloud.devops.txt. Okay, clear? Okay, all right. Any questions?
Manu,
You
like,
haven't shown that instance type change
I'll show you. I'll
again.
show you. I'll show. I'll show you again. I'll show you again in a few minutes. Any
Manu, the
questions,
case
anyone?
sensitive in the file names here,
Yes, it is case sensitive.
file names also. Okay, and
Yeah.
this
This is file name only. In Linux, everything is case sensitive. Everything. Okay, username, file names, everything. In Linux, everything is a file. So yes,
and how about sorting like file names with recursively means it's on the timestamp, right?
uh, the one which you created latest will be at the bottom. The one which you created the very first will be at the top, recursively in the
I mean, the
order of
latest one
creation
will be on the top
at the bottom.
at the bottom. Okay,
Correct.
and like we don't have any option of sorting it on like name of the files
Yes,
ascending
it is.
descending like
It
that.
is. It is there. There are some powerful commands called as awk set. Uh, in the next week, we'll see them when you're talking about bash. Okay.
Okay,
These two are just like AK-47s. If you take guns, in guns, AK-47 is a very powerful gun, right? In Linux, awk and sword are very powerful tools. Okay.
okay,
It's too advanced, so I don't want to talk now. Once you guys are very much familiar, then we'll talk about it.
okay.
Okay. So I would
Manu,
like to go ahead.
yes. Manu, like previously you have mentioned like we can also change the instant type. Like you have
Correct.
changed from T2 micro to T2 small.
Correct.
So can we do that while creating the instance? Like usually, like we'll be creating the instance, right? So at the time, like can we select as
Yeah.
per
Yes,
requirement?
yes. While creating an instance itself, it's a mandatory you need to select which instance you want. Okay. The reason why I selected TT3 micro is because it's small, it's free. Okay. You can select, you need to select one thing. By default, it selects T2 micro, but it's your user wish which one needs to be selected.
Okay, and also like here, like we have
Uh-huh.
changed it to T2 small.
Correct.
So like that means like here like this will be having some features. So how we will be knowing the like whatever the instances that are available there, like
Mhm.
how we can know
Sure.
the features. I mean
I'll
T2
show
will
you.
T2 dot micro will be having some features.
I'll show you. Not feature, just resource
I
size.
mean,
That's all. CPU and memory.
yeah.
That's all. No other features. How much
Okay.
CPU and how much memory. That combination is called as instance type. That's all. Okay. Now, I think we got a request again. You got that question, right? You got your answer, right?
Yes, Manu.
Okay, so we got a request again to show how to change the instance type. If you want to change the instance type from one type to another type, you cannot do it when the machine is in the power on state. You need to turn it off. So I'm just turning it off. This is also a very important question. So can you upsize or resize, upsize or downsize the machine EC2 instance when the machine is up? Definitely not. In any of the cloud, it's not possible. Okay, the technology is not there. Okay, you cannot upsize or downsize CPU and memory when the machine is on. Okay, I'm just turning off the machine. Banu, you asked me the question, right? I'm just trying to explain it one more time. Just please take a look. If you have any questions, please ask me.
Yeah, sure.
And guys, couple of requests and few people are not entering the names. I could see the names are attendee. I'm requesting them to enter the name, and I'm also asking them to respond me back. So guys, can you please enter your names? My request. One. All right. So the machine is completely stopped. So once the machine is stopped, you can change the instance type. Go to actions. On the top right corner, you have actions. In the instance setting, there is an option called as change instance type. You need to click that and just change it to the version of your choice. Anything of your choice. Anything. So I would like to go with, this time I would like to go with t3.micro. So t3.micro, t3.micro. That gives me 2 CPUs and 1 GB of memory. Okay. Now you need to change, the instance type has been changed. Now we need to start the machine one more time. That's all. All right, guys. Clear?
Manu,
Whosoever has,
yes.
let's connect to that machine and validate that. SSH CentOS @ IP address. Now it will be changed to t3.micro. DevOps 321. Okay, now your machine is upgraded to t3.micro. So guys, T2 series are second generation hardware, T3 series are third generation hardware. Okay, all right. And one more thing, another question: how do I know the combination types? AWS EC2 combination instance types. Okay, just click this instance types. Okay, here you have the types. Okay, I'm interested in T2, just click the T2. You'll get all the combinations. If you go with T2 Nano, you'll get one CPU and 0.5 GB memory, and the network performance is very low. And if you go with T2 Micro, you'll get one CPU and 1 GB of memory and moderate performance. And if you go with T2 Medium, it gives you two CPUs and 4 GB of memory, and it is also low to moderate performance. Okay, but if you go with some other instance type like T3 series, okay, which is nothing but the third generation hardware. If you go with T3 micro, they give you two CPUs and 0.5 GB memory. And if you go with T3.micro, you get two CPU and 1 GB of memory, and it's better performance. Network performance is up to 5 gigs per second. Okay, all right, clear? How do I know which instance type is giving how many CPUs and how much memory? Okay, in the
Up to
earlier
five
versions
in
of
the,
AWS, go ahead,
up to five
go
in the
ahead,
sense.
up to 5 gigs per second network speed.
Okay, okay.
Okay, speed of your input output, network speed. Okay, as I
Okay.
said, T3 is a third generation hardware, very fast. All right, guys, once you're done with the practice, what you need to do is you just need to come here, instance stage, stop the machine or terminate the machine. Terminate means destroying, stop means stop. Okay, when you give a stop, you can start it again. But if you terminate it, it's destroyed. Okay, that's for today, guys. I'm good. So from after 1 or 2 days, we'll increase the space. Okay, once we are good with all the basics. So guys, any feedback? So you want me to go fast or slow? Is it good? Ambika, you're saying something?
Yeah, it is good today, Manu. Yeah,
All
you're
right.
able to cope up with this.
Thank
And
you.
one when you said about the copying image of the CentOS, like we got one of
Uh,
the error, right? Like about the one error we got that time. Like how did you resolve that for the
I didn't
first time?
resolve it. I didn't
Uh-huh.
resolve it. That image is not there. CentOS image is published by Amazon to us. Amazon is not showing today. Yesterday it's shown. It's not showing up today. Okay.
No, when we
So to avoid,
copied, when you just copied your link to the, even that time we saw some error of to accept something,
at
right?
the
Agreement.
at that time, I was using again the community machine. Okay, which is chargeable thing. It is telling
Uh,
subscribe to it, which is going to charge you this much amount per hour. I said I don't want to subscribe to you, and I just cancel it and I
um,
created a machine with my image. Guys, this is the image name that you have to use.
I think that one you
Okay,
didn't share it. The one which was chargeable, you shared the link in the chat.
that's not that link is
Huh?
related to how to create an AWS account.
No, the
Okay,
one which you shared today about the image one in the chat box.
okay, all right. Did I share something wrong then? Let me check. The only
Manu,
link that I have.
can you
Uh-huh.
please share this document link?
Sure, you will get it. Okay, once you guys are onboarded, you'll get a Google Doc link like this with all the details. Okay,
Okay.
very soon you'll get it. But for now, this is the only piece of information which is needed. Take a note, or I'll publish it across. Okay, I'll be publishing it. Don't worry. You'll get a message right after the session. I'll be publishing this as well. Okay,
And
and
Manu,
ensure
you
you use it
told
in
about
uh-huh,
CPU and memory combination. What is that called?
instance type.
Instance type. Okay.
All right. So each and every combination of CPU and memory, Amazon has named it as some instance names they have given. That's the combination. That's all. Sanjeev, you got this coin? Sanjeev.
Yeah, yes. I tried it. It's not working. This one also saying the same things.
Uh-huh. Which image you're using? Can you please show me that?
Um, it's the same thing that you gave us on Cloud DevOps. The Lamb image sent to A7.
Hmm. Okay. This is a brand new account. I'll show you one more time. Okay. Launch an instance. Okay. Test. Okay. And browse. Go to the marketplace. Just search. 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 And community MIs. Just click that. Oh, sorry. Cloud DevOps lab image. You can see it in the published by anyone. By me. It's me. Just click that and scroll down, proceed without a key pair. Are you doing the same?
You switch it from marketplace to community. So we should search in community or marketplace.
Wherever you search, it gives you the result. That's not a problem. Okay, that's not a problem. Apurva,
Yeah, we okay. I'll
wherever you search, you get a result. It's just a search box, doesn't matter.
Manu, why we haven't selected key pair?
Because we are not using key pair anymore. Instead, we are using username and password, right?
Okay.
Okay, key pair is for passwordless authentication only. But we decided not to go with that because in corporates, key based authentication is not much secure. Because if you
Mm-hmm.
are connecting to 100 machines with one key, if you lose one key, the hacker can hack all the 100 machines, right? That's the reason
Okay.
it's not encouraged in corporate. So password based thing is,
Mm-hmm.
there is a concept called as zero trust policy. With the zero trust policy in security, key pair is not suggested mechanism. That's the reason we don't use it anymore. Okay,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
but I
Thank
have shown you the Linux standard as well, because wherever you go, you should know that, because that's fundamentally Linux ethics. So we should know that. Yeah.
you. Mm-hmm.
So
But Manu, in one of
one
the
minute, guys.
projects,
One minute. One minute. One minute. One minute. Sanjeev, Did you see how I created?
Yes, I will try
Still,
it
we are
again.
getting error, I think.
Yeah, I will try it
Sanjeev?
again. Yes,
Sure. Just post me that after the session if you have that. Okay, so that I can
right.
fix it if you have any issue. Yeah, you're saying something, guys? Someone?
Manu, like we are getting error when I use that image, still I'll be not able to access it.
No, no, you won't. Post me the error.
1 second.
For me, it was saying like it is no longer available for new customers.
Yeah,
Hmm.
for it is saying the same thing. Instance launch failed when I say edit, retry this.
All right. Show me the error, guys. This sounds
One second.
interesting. Hmm. Because the account which I'm using also brand new account only.
I'm not able to paste the screenshot here. Should I send it on WhatsApp?
Yes, please.
So Manu, I have a question.
Mhm. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, like you said that key-based authentication is not, preferred. Okay. But in
Hmm.
one of the projects, which was a banking, not banking exactly, it's a recharge application. So there, we were using that key pair because earlier in SOAP and other based projects, we use that key
Hmm.
means, yeah.
If I am the if I am the chief engineer in that project, definitely I'll be the first thing. That will be the first thing I'll remove it.
No,
Okay.
no, actually, that is fine. Like if we, in case of this
Hmm.
AWS or
Hmm.
micro-based project, I think
Hmm.
you will prefer that. But it,
Hmm.
I'm asking about a Java-based project where I have seen that. So why
Hmm.
means they used it earlier means earlier they are using that key based on.
Yes. See, companies, okay, will take time to evolve. Okay. So there are certain communities which suggest certain guidelines. If you follow that, this is the best thing. Certain companies will
Mhm,
follow, certain will take time to follow. Okay.
mhm. Okay.
Yes. But if I am the chief engineer of the project, that will be the first decision I'll take to improve.
Mhm. So you mean to say like
Hmm.
this key
Hmm.
based is should not be preferable. Rather, we
Yes.
should use password,
Passwords.
right?
Correct.
Okay.
Because we have more control of passwords, right? All right.
Okay.
Because if you are using 100 missions and all the 100 missions are having 100 passwords, 100 keys, you will be confused. Obviously, you'll maintain only one key pair. If one key pair is compromised, you can connect to hundreds of the machines.
Mhm.
It's a very bad thing. Yeah, that's the reason companies don't prefer going with. I mean, at least if any of the project is commissioned in last 2 to 3 years, definitely it will just keep username password based. All right.
Yeah, exactly. So like that was a old project, right? So they were using that keys.
Okay. That's the reason I have shown both. If in your projects, if you are using that, use that. If not, use this. Okay. All right. Guys, this is how you can terminate it. All right. Any questions, anyone?
Yeah, I sent you the message, Manu, on the
I'll check
WhatsApp.
that, Ambika. I'll check that.
Okay.
All right, guys. If anyone have any challenges creating the machines, you have my contact. Just post me the question. I'll respond you back. Okay. See you guys.
Manu,
Bye.
just one more question last. Can I take
Hmm.
it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just like generally when we create the instance, we have a tab over, connect.
Okay.
So we are not connecting from here. Instead, on the left hand side, yeah, connect, instance is before that. You can see a tab connect. So instead of connecting here, we are connecting it through shell, right? So.
Yeah. There are a couple of softwares that you can install. If you install it, you can directly connect from. console. Okay,
Yes,
this is
yeah.
grayed out to
Yeah.
certain set of audience.
Okay, because
Okay,
when I have created few instances, I use this also as option.
yeah,
So I was
but
able to
certain
connect
accounts,
from.
yeah, you can.
Okay.
You also have an option called
Mm.
as Cloud Shell. You can also do that. There are a lot of ways.
Okay, okay. But here we are doing through Excel shell only,
It's
yeah.
Excel or Git Bash or anything. Standard way. If you
Okay.
have an account, if you have a server, how do you connect?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Typically in organizations, you won't be having access to console. Everyone in the organization won't be having console. So you just set the standard way how to connect from outside as an
Mm-hmm.
outsider.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. See you guys. Bye. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thanks, Manu. Wish you the same.